Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Well, you know, I don't mean to throw on Jim Jordan every night, but there's a lot of energy and a lot of concern with the House Speakership and a lot of anxiety in the collective that Jim Jordan somehow makes it into to being the Speaker of the House. And I don't want to say I really don't see it happening, but if it does happen, he won't be able to do anything. I don't think he would have the support of all the GOP members, because some of them are in swing districts, and going full on MAGA crazy is not going to be in their best interest. And anything that really wild that they want to do, the Senate will never go along with, and Biden would never sign it. So pretty much what the House is just it's crazy town. The House is crazy town right now. And I remember Kim from Intuitive, I believe it was Kim from Intuitive, when she was seeing that the Democrats wouldn't take the House, her guidance was that this may not be the worst thing, because then the Republicans would be on stage just showing how dysfunctional they are. And here we are, into October of 2023. They've been in power for over 9 months, and they haven't done anything but squabble and squawk and put together useless investigations into Hunter Biden and trying to impeach Joe Biden. They're ineffective, and they're demonstrating their ineffectiveness to the American public. So if Jim Jordan does get in, realize it's just going to be the pinnacle of ineffectivity, of ineffectual leadership. He doesn't have leadership, but he can't rule either. That being said, looking at the news, they're going to vote again tomorrow. And according to an insider on the CNN article I'm looking at, Jordan's prepared to go as many ballots as it takes to win. Really? It took 15 from McCarthy. Do you have that much dignity, or do you have no dignity at all? He'll go... he might go about 5, somewhere between 3 and 6 ballots would be my guess. What will stop him is when he has like 2 ballots in a row where he doesn't make any gains. And then when he's meeting behind closed doors, those people are adamant that they still aren't going to vote for him, no matter what. So he can keep banging his head against the wall. He will not get through. This all should be done by the end of the week this week, is my thoughts. I'll throw on that one, but that's kind of my thoughts. This will be done before the end of the week. And then there's, McCarthy was like, well, if they want me back, I'll do it. Then he backed away from that, so I can throw on that one. Hakeem Jeffries was saying there's been informal talks about extending the leadership of the current temporary House Speaker, and he also mentioned that there are other Republican candidates that the Democrats would support, but that Jim Jordan was not among the people that they would support. So he's okay with maybe empowering McHenry a little bit more, or working with other Republicans. But Jim Jordan and his insurrectionist ways are not among the people they would support. Come on down. How are things looking for Jim Jordan currently with this? So tomorrow when he has the vote, how is that going to turn out for Jim Jordan? Okay, is it not known? Or is he howling at the moon? Ooh, they may not have a vote tomorrow. He's talking about having a vote tomorrow. This could say that they may not even have a vote tomorrow. Yeah, because he's evaluating whether or not he's not going to have the vote if he doesn't have the support. So in other words, come on up. One of the things I put on my community page earlier today was, first off, I was stunned that they would even go to the floor without a vote. But, thinking in the way that extremists would think, likely he did that to put people on record. It's a game of chicken. Who's going to back down? I'm going to have this vote. Or do you have... No, it's not like Republicans in the House of Representatives have ever shown a spine, at least with this current class. So they bully people into voting yes because they're too scared to vote no. So he ended up with 20 people voting no. And with those 20 people voting no, some are going to want favors and special projects in their district and little things here and there for self-enrichment and to help their re-election chances. So he'll get some of those. It won't stay at 20. That number will decrease, which is why he's wanting to have a vote tomorrow, because he thinks he can, buy off enough of the votes. But there are some people that are absolutely not going to vote for him, flat out won't do it. So, they can threaten him that they're going to primary him and use scare tactics and bully tactics. If you don't vote for us, we're going to primary you, and we're going to maybe cut your funding, and you won't get any of your projects through or anything along those lines. If I were a group of 5 Republicans, and after several conversations with him, if he were threatening me with something like that, I would find 5 Republicans that are like-minded and tell him if he doesn't withdraw his name as a candidate, we're going to vote for Jeffries. And that'll give Jeffries the 217 votes he needs to be the House Speaker. Now, basically, why would you do that? Because the message came through. Your career is toast. Well, hell, man. Go out in a blaze of glory. Bipartisan glory. You can go, and then when any legislation comes up, vote with the Democrats so that they're getting their stuff through. Because you're never going to work as a Republican again for your betrayals. You can go out in a blaze of glory and at least say, hey, I tried to be bipartisan and keep the government running. You'll look like the adult in the room. So if you ever run for re-election with a sensible party, they might vote for you. But probably not. Your career's probably done. So, back to the reading. Will he come out tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock? I don't think he would. He's thinking about it, but it's not a done deal as much as he says it's a done deal. Yeah, and there's my leaving card I got the last time. If he does not, this could end really, really quickly. I'll be curious to see if they have a vote tomorrow morning, because this is the leaving card. This is the going away card. He may not have a vote tomorrow just because he knows he doesn't have the votes. And why humiliate yourself with that? Or you have to do more negotiations. So he might kick it off an extra day. But I think the realization is coming in that he doesn't have the votes, period, and he's not going to get them. But he's going to give it that college try, Like, Ohio State wrestling college kind of try. Ow. Okay, sorry, Spirit. That will teach me. I'm being a little too snarky there on essays and stuff. In the past, we have the full card. Talk about somebody not reading the room or reading the country. In his own mind, this was going to be the perfect launching point for him. He had designed his whole career as a legislature for this moment to be the Speaker of the House. No, he's been going around the country with a flamethrower for the last 10, 12 years, just destroying everything in his path. What the heck makes him think that they're going to actually vote for him to lead the party when all he does is tear things down? He's delusional. He is delusional right now in this situation for tomorrow. He's looking at all the positives, not looking at the negatives, which, or he's not seeing the full picture. Maybe he's not reading the full room. Maybe if he just thinks if he tries hard enough and coerces, bribes, threatens, he'll get his way with it. Or that's kind of currently where his mindset is. But there we go. People are walking away. I would guess there's going to be at least 8 people in the Republican ranks that are never Jordaners. They will never vote for Jordan. And he's going to be finding out during the course of the day that he's never going to get those 8 votes. No matter what he does, he's never going to get them. So now he needs to make a decision. Does he keep, do you have your pride and dignity and you bow out? Or do you just keep trying to force it and, force these people to bend to your will? Outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, that's an interesting one. I think he will continue trying to find a way to coerce these people into his camp. Normally I would say, he might value his dignity and step down, but I don't think he'll do it tomorrow. I think he will continue to try and find a way to do this, but he's not going to make it in. It's an uphill battle for him. It's an uphill battle. Okay, so expect that we may not have a vote tomorrow. I honestly don't think we're going to have a vote tomorrow. He says we're going to have one at 9 o'clock. I suspect you're going to get another delay on that one. Maybe he feels that if he just, keeps offering more and more to folks, he'll get that. But I think what he's going to find out is he's 8 votes short. And then literally it's, do you want to be humiliated by constantly going through votes? I really wonder about that Queen of Pentacles, if there will be a story coming out about the wrestlers that were essayed in Ohio State. I wonder if that'll come out as sort of counter-programming to, because you could picture the morning shows bringing those wrestlers back on again as, all eyes are on McCarthy, all eyes are on Jordan. You can bring these guys right back on it again, and it's great counter-programming. So that's another thing that could be going on with it. By the end of the week, will Jordan's have given up, or is he still going? Lover's card. Karma. 2 of Wands. 3 of Wands. End of the week. We're talking bipartisanship here. End of the week, the Democrats, I think, the Republicans have realized that they cannot do this alone. They can't do enough Republican votes alone. And they're going to have to do something different. They're going to have to take a new path. There's been planning about this, and there's action to move forward, and this is the way to keep the government moving forward. I still think that it's going to be McHenry. I think the Democrats will work with the Republicans either for a new candidate, but I think with this Wheel of Fortune in this card, I think it's McHenry. I think they will keep McHenry in office or expand his powers to allow him to bring the budgets and such things like that to the floor. I think we'll find that out by Friday, which means that Jordan's done before Friday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. I think Jordan's done before the end of the week. And as we go into the weekend, they're looking at a new path. Say by Friday, Jordan hangs it up and everybody gets to go home for a 3-day weekend. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, jeez. As much... And I understand the anxiety with it. It's kind of funny just watching how dysfunctional they are. It would be funnier if they weren't trying to put somebody who actively tried to do a coup of our government, It would be a lot funnier if that weren't the case, but the stakes are really high. So I understand the stress levels. And I know I could be wrong. Energy can change. People that decided that they weren't going to vote for him, maybe they get a change of thought. They get offered a lot of things of value, and then they change their mind. I can't control that. I can't control people's free will. But all indications are he's not getting in. So I hope if that can take your stress down a little bit, that it's really highly probable he's not getting in. McCarthy? McCarthy have any chance of getting in there? We got the government here. Here comes McCarthy. The moon card. Out in the cold. He would want it, but they already tossed him out. They wanted it. 5 people will still not support him. And he might be kind of lobbying behind the scenes trying to get that, trying to see if, like when they're doing that vote tomorrow, or when Jordan's trying to figure stuff out. I think McCarthy's trying to figure out stuff too, if he's the path forward. So I think there's going to be some gossipy sniping between the two of them. It's like they're undermining each other. It wouldn't surprise me if we found out later that McCarthy was undermining Jordan. That, on the facing of it, he's out there saying, oh yeah, I support Jim Jordan. He'll be a great House Speaker, yada, 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 yada. And behind the scenes, he's telling his buddies, no way, don't you dare vote for this guy. It wouldn't surprise me. I never watched Game of Thrones. I don't know if that's Game of Thrones stuff or not, but I like to think more like, junior high school student body government type of things. I think that's where we're at with the mentality of the folks here. All right. Keep going. Mr. McHenry, our temporary speaker. Will the Democrats and the Republicans go with McHenry or a different candidate? Okay. Will they go with McHenry? I kind of want to do a challenge one. Okay, so what's the challenge between the Democrats and the Republicans working together on a bipartisan candidate of McHenry or somebody else? The biggest challenge is the novelty of this. It's like, what do we do? How do we work together? We've never done this before. And I don't mean they've never worked together in a bipartisan way, but I don't think there's ever been a bipartisan approach to nominate the speaker. We've never had this level of dysfunction before. So they have to kind of figure out what's in the best interest for everyone. Now, as far as McHenry goes, he's already in place. He's already been installed as that temporary speaker, so that goes to his favor. We got the Two of Pentacles. They're weighing the pros and cons of it. Maybe the political challenges that would happen by having McHenry in there, being the temporary speaker, as opposed to having the full vote. This contemplation right here is, can we expand his powers or temporarily expand his powers as a temporary speaker while we sort out the new leader, or do we actually have to nominate him as a leader to bring him in as the Speaker of the House? I think he's actually gonna have some support here. He's gonna have some support from the Democrats here. At the very least, we're going to find out what has to happen in order for him to either get expanded powers, and if he can't get expanded powers, then he has to run. There's going to be a lot of fighting. There's going to be a lot of resistance against this. Maybe it might be that there's going to be a bunch of legal challenges, or they're worried about the legal challenges, so that if you do this, it immediately gets bogged down, which means that you can't actually bring him in because it's just stuck in the courts. So it just might be that, expanding his powers, even though that's like the simplest thing to do, and it would eventually win in court, it might take too long to go through the court system, and it'll be fought the whole way up and down. What do we have underneath there? Four Swords. Taking a break, contemplating, thinking things through. So that actually makes sense because they're trying to think this thing through. We got a pair of fours here. What's on now? What happens if they want to go with a different person? They need somebody who has strength, who has backbone, somebody who understands the House and how things run in the House, and they can marshal enough conservatives to work with the Democrats to get the votes to be installed as speaker, and then work in a bipartisan manner. I'm not going to say anything. Everybody who's seen my videos for the last couple of weeks knows that I'm about to say somebody's name, a former female speaker. It's going to be they come to an agreement with this person. By the way, both these spreads so far look great. I think either one of these things is going to work so far. The way I look at it, we're gonna get through this here. Is the compromise? You give us something, we'll give you something. Your bipartisanship, and this person will lead on the way forward here. So again, with this, they're gonna look for somebody who's got basically a backbone and is a leader type, not a flamethrower, not a rabble rouser, a leader. Somebody who can work with both sides, knows how to compromise, can work agreements with the other side that's mutually beneficial for the country, and actually leads a path forward. There might be a pause here. This could be them just thinking about it, or there could be a pause as they try and work through these two scenarios right there. But both these scenarios look positive. Both of these look like they are a path forward. I'm leaning towards somebody's going to get nominated for this to lead that out, because this one might run into court challenges that would ultimately delay the decision. If it were a drinking game, nobody's had to drink yet because I haven't said the name. And if you type it in the comments, you have to take a drink. I don't have any good questions. I need to work on my pendulum skills. Is this person currently serving in Congress? Yes or no? Is this a person or woman? I haven't said Liz Cheney yet, so you don't have to take a drink. Oops. Everybody take a drink now. All right. Again, what can you tell me about the Speaker of the House? Okay, so assuming we go through this week and Jim Jordan is not the Speaker, what can you tell me about the upcoming... how about this? Will the budgets be approved on time? Will there be a government shutdown? Will the budgets be approved on time? We've got less than 30 days to do that. Whew, maybe not. But that's going to drive things. Maybe not. That's the biggest concern right now that's driving all this. Or the budgets. Yeah, and going forward, trying to find a way to finance the country before there's a shutdown. And that's part of the delay. I don't think we're going to have a speaker in place. It just might take a long time to find somebody who's mutually agreeable about. Or maybe this is just the stress of it and they're thinking about it. Let's see how the cards pan out. If it was just this, I'd be worried. Oh, God. So in the past, underlying is the Four Swords, which was underlying in the last reading. And in the past, this is the new candidate. So we're talking about the new candidate. 'Cause remember, this was a card over here under the new candidate. Central under the new candidate was their ability to compromise and work for the American people. Okay, so that's in the past. So we're now talking about that person. It's a celebration. So yes, we have a candidate. They may not be elected in time to prevent a shutdown per se. There has to be something. No, I don't know that. I don't know that for a fact. I don't know how that would work. If there's a shutdown, it's not on purpose. It's because they didn't have enough time to get the funding bills done. And then they would just have to work long hours and weekends trying to get everything through, to the Senate so the Senate could vote on it and Biden could vote on it. So if there is a shutdown, it's not purposeful. It's not being torpedoed by the speaker. It's that they run out of time. But I think they have they found somebody to be the speaker to get the budget through. There's a celebration here. Overall, arching is there's some disappointment or sorrow. And this is probably from the Republicans. It could be the American people that it took so long to get to this point that the majority fell and the minority is left standing. It's funny how you've got 3 cups down, but we have 3 cups raised. So that tells me they do find a consensus candidate. The Republicans lose, but we celebrate the victory of the Republican loss. How about that one? That's cool. That's a cool interpretation. I like that one. I'll pat myself on the back. Oh, the lesson to be learned is about compromise versus, my way or the highway. The Republicans are so used to pair of fives transitions here. This is that transitioning of power away from pure Republican power. The disappointment they couldn't maintain power. Their dysfunction with their own groups. That factions within there were so gung-ho for power they couldn't compromise with even other Republicans to maintain control over the House. Or control as a unified Republican Party. And there's your agreement again. Yeah, there's your agreement again. They find the consensus candidate is the problem here. It takes them a while to do it. There's a lot of negotiations going on behind the scenes. They will get that person in. I hope you're all feeling good after that first drink. I really have to go look through my old videos and find that clip of my epiphany for the House Speaker. There we go. House Speaker is called ragweed. All right. Spirit, what can you tell me about the House Speaker? Give me some characteristics and some traits about this House Speaker. What's going to make them so special that they are chosen to be the House Speaker over anybody else? I keep asking this. I keep getting like the Queen of Cups and stuff like that. So I am curious if there's any consistency here. Okay. Traits of the new House Speaker. Somebody basically, they're not going to expand the government. They're going to keep the government on the very straight and narrow. There's not going to be any expansion here. So this is somebody who understands that they are not going to be pushing a conservative agenda. They're not going to be pushing a progressive agenda. This is business as usual. And it's going to be, again, 4 things. Raising the debt ceiling, keeping the budget going, funding Ukraine and Israel. Stuff like that. It's real basic stuff. Crossed with the celebration. I still think it's going to be a woman that is your House Speaker. Women are celebrating. Underneath it, it's 2 of Pentacles again. It's somebody who's contemplating this job. Is it worth taking? Yes or no? What's the value in it? What's the cost? So the person who's in there, they're evaluating their personal values versus service. And are they going to get benefits from this? And are the detriments too bad? They're weighing things. So this is a person who actually thinks things through and considers the impact to their future career, as well as their own personal values. So you're not going to get somebody who's an unreasonable extremist. They would never vote for that person. Dems would never vote for that person anyways. Here's your agreement card again. It's in the past. So it's somebody who has shown their ability to work as in a bipartisan manner, and the Democrats and the Republicans can both agree that this person is the right person for just keep steering the boat. That's all this person needs to do is steer the boat and keep it out of the rocks. Keep the government open and operating. The energy is, this person's a leader and a person of action. They have almost a masculine type of energy when it comes to getting stuff done. Just, okay, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. Integration, temperance. So the overarching energy is integration and temperance. This is going to be a new role for this person, and it's going to take them a while to get comfortable in this role. Again, most likely this person is a Republican, so they have to reintegrate themselves back in this role as the Speaker of the House, and then try and assuage the feelings of the folks in the GOP while maintaining a non-toxic relationship with the Democrats. This person is actually going to be really good at that art of keeping this whole thing going. The lesson to be learned is the Two of Swords. That this person does need to make their decision if they want to do this or not. I think one of the energies of this whole thing of this person taking it is they have to really decide if they want to do this. Because once they're in it, they have to be bipartisan the whole way through. There is no way that they can get any agenda items through that are partisan. And this person is going to have to show that they're party neutral as far as getting things done. Even though if they're a Republican and they're going to lean Republican, they have to be party neutral because they need all the votes to get this thing through. So what this is telling me is, again, when you have a debt ceiling bill or a budget bill, it's going to be clean. There isn't going to be all this garbage associated with it. It's going to be really cut and dry. It's going to be such boring politics. You're just going to hate it. I'll have to, read on on Ivana Trump's grave a bit more to give you some excitement. And there's the Lover's card again. This works out. This scenario works out. This person is going to work out. They are going to be a unifying force in Congress. So in other words, they're getting the right person. Whoever ends up being in there is the right person for the job at that time. Okay? And that's what I got to say on that. And I've now made a very, very long video on this. And I've only said Liz Cheney once. Well, twice. Feel free to give me a really hard time when we find out it's not her, because I've been pimping her so hard recently. But I'm in a good mood because it's not going to be Jordan. It's not going to be Scalise. So it's not David Duke without the baggage. It's not an insurrectionist. It's not going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's not going to be Matt Gaetz. It's not going to be Lauren Boebert. It's not going to be anybody on the far right extreme. And, as much as you want it to be Hakeem Jeffries, those cards could describe Hakeem Jeffries really, really well. It's not going to be Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries, his is going to happen in 2025 at the earliest. I could be wrong. 5 Republicans could have a spine and vote for Hakeem Jeffries. The next thing you know, Hakeem Jeffries is the Speaker of the House. I'd be a little worried about Hakeem Jeffries being the Speaker of the House when the Republicans are in the majority. Because then any dysfunction that happens will be blamed on Hakeem Jeffries because he's the Speaker of the House. Can't get the budget through? That's Hakeem Jeffries' fault. Doesn't matter that the Republicans are in the majority. They'll all vote no against anything he does and then blame the Democrats for it. So that's why you don't want Hakeem Jeffries in there without a Democratic majority. Okay, so that's my read on this. Hopefully it's the last one I have to do this week. Hopefully Jim Jordan by Thursday afternoon or Thursday afternoon realizes the jig's up and he sends everybody home for a long 3-day weekend. And then the Republicans can figure out life over the weekend and reach out to Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats and find a path forward. Okay, thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, and comments and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that my video makes it out to new viewers. And to those new viewers, welcome to the channel. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.